Okay, let us see the norma frontalis. When we study the skull bone from the front view, it is known as the norma frontalis. It is roughly oval in shape and it is wider above than the below. The bones we can see here are the frontal bone, which forms the forehead. It is smooth and convex. In its lower part, it is irregular and it is interrupted by the orbits. We can also see the right and left maxilla, which forms the upper jaw. Then the right and left nasal bones, which form the bridge of the nose. We can also see the zygomatic bone, which forms the bony prominence of the supralateral part of the cheeks. Then we can see the mandible, the lower jaw. The norma frontalis is studied under the frontal region, orbital region, then the anterior pyriform shaped bony apertures of the nose and lower part of the face. Now let us see the frontal region. The frontal region has some features like superciliary arch. It is a rounded curved elevation situated just above the medial part of the orbit. It overlies the frontal sinus and it is better marked in the males than the females. Another one is the glabella. It is a median elevation which connects the two superciliary arch. Then the nasion. We can see the nasion. It is a median point at the root of the nose where the internasal sutures meet with the frontonasal suture. Another one is the frontal eminence or frontal tuber. It is a rounded elevation just above the superciliary arch on each side, and it is also more marked in the females. Now the orbital openings. We can see the margin of the orbital openings. It is quadrangular in shape. The upper margin, it is known as the supraorbital margin and it is formed by the frontal bone. At the junction of lateral 2/3 and medial 1/3, we can see a notch here which is known as the supraorbital notch or foramen. Then the infraorbital margin, it is formed by the zygomatic bone laterally and medially it is formed by the maxilla. The medial orbital margin, it is ill-defined and it is formed by the frontal bone above and by the lacrimal crest of the frontal process of maxilla below. Then the lateral margin, the lateral orbital margin, it is formed by the frontal process of the zygomatic bone, but it is completed above by the zygomatic process of the frontal bone, and here we can see the frontozygomatic suture. Now the anterior bony aperture of the nose. This aperture, it is a pier in shape. It is wider below than the above. Above, it is bounded by the lower border of the nasal bones, whereas the below, it is bounded by the nasal notch of the body of the maxilla on each side. The features we can see here are the articulation of the nasal bone. Here the anteriorly it articulates with the opposite nasal bone by internasal suture. Posteriorly it articulates with the frontal process of the maxilla. Superiorly it articulates with the frontal bone by frontonasal suture. Inferiorly it articulates with the nasal cartilage. Here we can see the anterior nasal spine just at the lower part of the pyriform. The anterior nasal spine, we can see here the sharp projection in the median plane which present in the lower boundary of the pyriform aperture. Here we can see the rhenion. It is the lowermost point of the internasal suture. Then we can see the lower part of the face in which maxilla. The maxilla mainly form the most of the part of the facial skeleton, and it is also form the parts of the upper jaw. Here we can see the nasal notch on the medial side. Then anterior nasal spine, we can also see the infraorbital margin also formed by the maxilla in its medial two-third position. Then we can see the infraorbital foramen, which is located around 1 cm below the infraorbital margin. Then we can see the incisive fossa above the incisor teeth and the canine fossa above the canine eminence. Now the maxilla having 4 processes. The frontal process of the maxilla directed upward. So this one is the frontal process. Then the alveolar process, it consists of the sockets for the teeth. And then this one is the zygomatic process of the maxilla, attaches with the zygomatic bone. And it also has the palatine process. Now the zygomatic bone, it forms the most prominence of the cheek, and here the zygomaticofacial foramen is present. So this one is the zygomaticofacial foramen. Next is the mandible, also known as the lower jaw, and we will discuss it as a separate bone. The some sutures we can see on the norma frontalis are the internasal suture between two nasal bone, then the frontonasal suture between the frontal and the nasal bone, then the nasomaxillary suture here between the nasal and the maxilla, lacrimomaxillary suture between the lacrimal and the maxilla, frontomaxillary suture between the frontal bone and the maxilla, intermaxillary suture, here this one is the intermaxillary suture, then zygomaticomaxillary suture we can see here, and the zygomaticofrontal suture. So these are some sutures. Now the attachments on the frontal bone. So first of all, superciliary arch, it gives origin to the corrugator supercilii. Then the procerus muscle, it arises from the nasal bone near the median plane. Then we can see the orbicularis oculi, it arises from the frontal process of the maxilla, and it also arises from the nasal part of the frontal bone. Then the medial palpebral ligament, it is also arising from the frontal process of the maxilla. Then the levator labii superioris alaquinazi, this muscle, it is arises from the frontal process of the maxilla just front of the orbicularis oculi. Then from here, levator labii superioris, it arises from the maxilla between the infraorbital margin and infraorbital foramen. Then we can see the levator anguli oris, it arises from the canine fossa. The nasalis and depressus septi, these two muscles, they arises from the nasal notch of the maxilla, whereas the incisivus, it arises from the area just below the depressus septi. Then the zygomaticus major and minor, these two muscles, they are arises from the zygomatic bone. This out of these two, the minor arises from the just below the zygomaticofacial foramen, whereas the major arises just lateral to the minor. So major muscle lies lateral to the minor, and the buccinator muscle, it arises from the maxilla and mandible both, just opposite the molar teeth. It also arises from the pterygomandibular halfway, and it forms the part of the orbicularis oris muscle. Now the structure passing through the foramen. The supraorbital notch or the foramen, it transmits the supraorbital nerves and the vessels. The external nasal nerve, it passes between the nasal bone and the upper nasal cartilage. Then the infraorbital foramen, it transmits the infraorbital nerve and the vessels. Then the zygomaticofacial foramen transmits the nerve of the same name, the zygomaticofacial nerve, and which is a branch of the maxillary nerve. The mental foramen on the mandible, here it transmits the mental nerve and the vessels. So this is about the norma frontalis.